Libra, welcome to your November 2016 Astro Tarot reading. And today we'll be talking about the new moon that took place October 30th in your financial sector, your house of income and spending. And we'll also be talking about the full moon that takes place November 14th in your in Taurus, which is a deep subject for you, a deep house astrologically for you that contains elements of trust, issues related to debt, finances, property, any joint resources that you have, including child support, taxes. This can bring up deeper subjects of divorce. It's all about defining boundaries, really, in how we evaluate our self-worth in relation to other people. And sometimes if this axis between the 2nd and 8th house becomes imbalanced, we see quite a bit of issues. That's where, you can see a lot of sexual dysfunction. You can see issues related to trust appear. And then all of these things can really take a toll on your financial sector, because then you sort of have this spiraling out of control where you're trying to accumulate more of a certain type of energy, maybe more of the 2nd house. So instead you're putting it towards material possessions rather than trying to really improve your self-esteem or really trying to define boundaries between you and another person. And for me, this is where you see the typical wife who's trying to really, or not the typical wife, but we've all heard stories where instead of really working on a relationship, maybe the wife is out spending money, the husband's out having an affair, or vice versa. And that's because this energy is unbalanced. And when I'm talking about Libra's always going to refer back to relationships. You guys really like peace and harmony within a relationship, and sometimes you might even put off a conflict just so that you can have that peace and harmony. You want everything to be perfect in some ways, or you're looking for, a pleasant time. You want life to be happy and, sort of full of this socializing, learning experience. You just want everything to be stable, and some of you really have a hard time dealing with conflict that comes along, especially within relationships. The first thing I see here from Spirit in the cards, first off, the top line represents the new moon and the bottom line will represent the full moon. But the first thing that I see is this sort of exhaustion, and exhaustion from almost a demanding relationship. This could be a passionate relationship. And I see a lot of unbalance, of course, here too, with fears related to your finances. But there's more than that. There's this sort of need for truth to come along and to shine a light on some of the darkness maybe that you have felt within your family unit. I just get the sense that there's this feeling of entrapment that's more like, you feel stifled, like there's no way forward, there's no way out, there's no way around. And sometimes this comes from when multiple people are involved in a situation, and I'm not talking about multiple romances. I'm talking about, the family unit where, you may make a decision based on the kids, or there's this sort of stalemate financially where maybe more than one family member needs attention, or they may need, more financial resources, and trying to make it spread around and make it work for everybody. And then I sort of see this head of the family here, who is coming forward, and I'm getting as, standing out, is the direction of Spirit here. He's coming forward as maybe with a warning to either use his intuition, or you are to use your intuition about him. But this could be an authority figure. This could be someone who runs an organization. This could be a government official. But I think the Queen of Air here is here, which is the Queen of Swords. So This line representing the full moon, I think that by the full moon you may really be able to see things more clearly. You're sort of coming out of this fogginess, this sleepiness that just comes from exhaustion and just not wanting to fight another day. And all of this, sort of arguing maybe about finances or worrying about finances. And, this sort of truth is bringing you a new vision of who this male figure is in your life, or this authority figure, or, maybe even this debt collector. But I really think this is a familial male figure related to family, and the High Priestess is here, wanting spirit to come through, wanting an intuitive process to take place. And then, there's a decision that has to be made from that regarding money. So I think around the new moon, all of this exhaustion by the end of October, early November, you're really feeling, maybe even a sort of stalemate, or trying to come up with new ways to defeat this worry or grief associated with family, or this financial situation associated with family. And so we have the Knight of Cups here, or as Doreen Virtue would have it, the Knight of Water. And by the way, I am using Doreen Virtue's Angel Tarot deck today. And so the Knight of Water, Knight of Cups appears, and the Knight of Cups genuinely reflects a male who is either older or more or less emotionally immature in relation to love and romance, maybe in fatherhood. He may be playful, or it could be someone who's offering you a new opportunity for romance. On top of the cards that are already there, I think the choice is going to be yours in how you handle this person and how you handle this energy of sort of feeling, like you want this wide-eyed, innocent opportunity to take place. And this may, involve a vehicle, it may involve travel, but here we have a choice, and here we have a choice. So I think by that full moon, which takes place in your 8th house, which again is really such a heavy place. And the 8th house to me always represents, this sort of delving into that secret world. This is where you sort of get investigative. You're suspicious of people maybe. At the same time, there's, this energy related to debt or paying out money or joint resources or loans, and really trying to deal with all the anxieties of that. So by the time that energy appears, I feel like this could be related to travel or related to a vehicle in some way. And so there's this sort of pause between the point where you're going to be able to see this person who's in charge, or who's, sort of running the show here with this issue. And there may be some sort of announcement that takes place. But you're definitely going to be able to see this person in a clear light. And again, this person could be a father figure. He could be someone who is running an organization that you work for. But I think he's more or less related to family. And I really want to stick with that. I think he is a father figure, a husband. He's someone that you let have the reins quite often, and that someone that is often in control. And again, I see this, the Three of Air, Three of Swords is not a pleasant card. There's no way around that. So this sort of influence related to the intuitive process, or, being able to feel what lies underneath or beneath the surface of this person, may be a heartbreaking experience, because it's almost like you have to trust that intuitive process when you're making a decision related to finances or sexuality, debt, death, all of those things with the 8th house. And you can Google the 8th house and what all that entails. But for me, and looking at this full moon is maybe quite, in the days leading up to it. So from from the beginning of October to November 14th, this is really about almost like how a mystery is, you're sort of gathering the pieces of a puzzle to a mystery, I think, and trying to really put those pieces together to make it work for everybody, and trying to see a person more clearly. And there's sort of this fear of not having enough and hanging on to things with the idea that you can't make it without them. And I mean, again, here we have the relationships and the Lovers card come forward again. And this is definitely pertaining to a relationship, Libra. And here, this is more confirmation. I don't know how many more confirmations we need from Spirit, but there is definitely an entanglement in this relationship where the truth, you're searching for the truth. From the beginning of November, you're looking for the truth of this relationship. You're trying to really understand your own feelings and how they're enmeshed in this relationship. And if you're the Emperor, if you're a male figure, you may feel like you have been unsupported in some way by your partnership, or everything is on your shoulders. And there could be this, imbalance of trust and intimacy and finances. And if you feel that energy within yourself, within your partnerships or relationships, and I think that this reading probably is for those who are already in a relationship for the most part, I'm sorry, that's just what is coming forward here. And I mean, this could be even be an involvement with a parent, because definitely the 7th house for me describes parents and partners in relationships. So this could even be a business deal, but there's one relationship in particular where there's a sense of mistrust and there's a sense of chaos with finances and not feeling stable in any shape or form. And that's because this energy has been unbalanced. And so you have to find a way. You have to go back and research and find out all of the clues that led to this huge chaotic event where finances are out of control, trust is out of control. There's this overbearing sense of need to find the truth in someone who's being overbearing. And then there's this female figure who's coming forward, and to me this describes a female Aries, Aquarius, or Libra, and she's coming forward to sort of go head to toe with this Emperor, or this person in charge, or this head of the family, about things that involve emotional opportunities with family members, and feeling like she could miss an opportunity, or just feeling, to me, she's been wanting to escape all of this truth discovering process that has just been such an exhausting experience. And she's wanting to come forward. She wants, these new opportunities, romantic opportunities that sort of bring this sort of happy-go-lucky feeling forward as they relate to vehicles, transportation, could even be career and lifestyle matters. And I mean, the choices are all over the place, but this seems to be the choice that you two are experiencing, is that someone has to come forward. First of all, this is the positive card here that's laying out here. And the Ace of Air is the sword of truth, really. I mean, it is a new opportunity to tell the truth. It's the Ace of Swords in traditional tarot again. And so it's telling the truth no matter the consequences. Because unless the truth is really told, you're just going to go over and over and over and over something again and again until, at least if the truth is out there, then you say, okay, now we have a finality to everything that came before the truth being told, and now we can move forward. Otherwise, all this stuff is just going to keep happening all over again, and you're going to be, looking to spend money. You're going to be looking for the next sexual partner. You're going to be looking for that person to fulfill that energy, because that energy is not going anywhere. We're always going to have to deal with the second and eighth house. This new moon and full moon is just an opportunity for you to really look at that energy and to really become aware of it. I mean, it's with you all the time, but right now, universe is bringing this forward in the form of some emotional family culmination to ask you to, number one, the word protection comes to mind. Number two, the word finances come to mind. And number three, the words opportunity comes to mind. So you have to realize that whatever it is that's out of balance needs to find some sort of foundation that is practical and that is protective for your family, regardless of how many people are upset about it. And the truth has to be told here. That's the thing that really, comes forward to me. You have got to tell the truth. You have got to see the truth in one relationship. You cannot bury your head in the sand and pretend like whatever this is not going on, because by the end of the month, here we go. By the end of the month, we have, that's hopeful. This sort of feeling of just being trapped in all of this, in conflicts with other people. But these two cards really come forward for the end of the month. And this is the Wish card here. And this is a young female who's Capricorn, Virgo, or Taurus. Or this could be an opportunity to go back to school. Or an opportunity to go on an adventure in the world, I think. But it's also making a new beginning with finances and saying, you know what, I may have to start over again, but I'm going to do it, and I'm going to figure out the right way to balance this energy. And then of course we have the World card, so this to me is more like travel, and nines always remind me, I always associate them with the ninth house. I know that some people don't, but for me in my readings, it usually comes up true. Nines are about education, they're about transportation, they're about travel. And these cards here just verify it, that there's something, maybe a project related to the internet, publishing, writing. These things are really coming forward as they relate to finances, and this sort of innocent, childlike quality is coming forward. So I think that there is going to be an opportunity here. We have two pages here. These could be two daughters, two sisters. One is a fire sign, one's an earth sign. Or this could just be, news of finally getting a hold on your money, on your finances, and also of this opportunity that's coming forward. And I think this opportunity definitely has something to do with seeing the world, of educating yourself, of being able to travel around to where you want to, and could definitely be a few high society or career accolades as well. I think there is a promise of a new future here. So there you have it, Libra. And I'm going to draw one more card for you this month, and this is from the Messages from Your Animal Spirit Guides Oracle cards. And if you ever have a chance to work with nature, or an opportunity to study about the signs of nature and how they relate to the messages that Spirit has for you, please take advantage of that opportunity, because we have signs every day around us, and especially in the nature realm. There, you can look out every day and see Spirit talking to you through nature. So this month your card is the Ladybug, and wow, what an awesome thing for you, Libra, because ladybugs often represent abundance. And I get very excited if I see a ladybug outside, because that means you're going to have the money that you're going to need to come forward. And this card says this is a time of good fortune and abundance. So be willing to receive all good things in your life. So yes, you're going to have some conflicts. And yes, even if money comes in to do what you want to do, you have really got to take a step back, tell the truth, reorganize your finances, talk with your partner about how you're really going to make things work in the future, And if this is an opportunity in the midst of all this, it looks like you're going to take it. But you have to realize that this chaos that you're experiencing this month that leads up to this opportunity is going to take place again and again if you do not heal the energy of the 2nd and 8th house axis. So I wish you the best in November, Libra. And I'll see you again next month.